It is 2000 hours Central African time. This is Sunday edition live from our Pocasil studios in Highlands, Harare. I am Yvonne Mokondani.
My name is Joyce Mabikano. Bumangwa is on sign language, and these are our leading stories tonight. Public hearings on Zimbabwe Constitution Amendment number 3 bill begin tomorrow. Mutare Polytechnic innovates a hoist to aid persons with disabilities. Details in our science and technology feature. And in sport, Zimbabwe's Chevrons rekindle glory with historic India tour. Now I'll give you the news in detail. The Second Republic's commitment to accelerating the implementation of the devolution and decentralization agenda is gathering pace, with the long-awaited Philabusi Civil Registry complex, which stalled in the year 2006, now just a few touches away from completion. The completion of the Philabusi Civil Registry dovetails with President Emmerson Mnangagwa's call for the accelerated implementation of the devolution and decentralization agenda.
Just less than 20 days before Matebeleland South was this year's national independence celebrations to be held at Mapisa Business Center in Matoba District, contractors at various independence legacy projects dotted around Matebeleland South are burning the midnight oil to ensure that they complete all the projects right on time. And one of those projects is the Philabusi Registry Complex here in Philabusi that was started in 2004 but stalled in 2006 due to financial constraints, only to resume under the Second Republic. And as you can see behind me, it's just a few touches away from completion. But what does this complex mean to the people of Mpalawan, the people of Lambamai, the people of Shangan, who used to travel for more than 100 kilometers to access their vital documents?
Bekusihlukumeza kakhulu sizibuza ukuthi uhamba kanjani kungapheli lo nyaka 2026 awuze lenye
building lesayithola vele ikhona ingayakhwanga so nxa sibona lathi siphela kuyasithabisa.
The completion of this Philabusi Civil Registry complex will not just transform this rapidly growing mining town in terms of infrastructure development, but will bring critical services in the spirit of leaving no one and no place behind, as it will have more than 20 government offices.
We are all on course to complete it before the Uhuru celebrations. What we are currently doing, we have gotten additional carpenters, additional plumbers, because these are the works which they are currently working on, and the roof. So from what we have assessed, we are really satisfied that the contractor will be done before the Uhuru celebrations.
The completion of the Philabusi Civil Registry dovetails with President Mnangagwa's call for the accelerated implementation of the devolution and decentralization agenda.
Our ZANU-PF-led government is a listening and a people-centered administration. I'm very sincere about this one. Under my leadership, therefore, equitable regional development and inclusivity will be achieved across provinces through the accelerated implementation of the devolution and decentralization agenda.
The Philabusi Civil Registry Complex is part of the Independence Legacy projects in Matebeleland South, as Matebeleland South prepares to host this year's national independence, running under the theme ZIM at 46, Unity and Development towards Vision 2030. Providence Maranelli, ZBC News, Philabusi.
A Siyalima irrigation scheme in Guruve has become a beacon of cooperative excellence, with government encouraging irrigation schemes to form strategic partnerships to enhance production.
Formed in 2017 at the dawn of the Second Republic, Siyalima irrigation scheme in Guruve has been consistent in enhancing the country's food security through soybeans, maize and wheat production.
Scheme yakavambwa na His Excellency mu 2017 nechinangwa chokupedza nzara. Nzara isaipedza sei kuburikidza nekurima zvirimwa zvinodyiwa, nekurima zvinodyiwa. Chinangwa chokupedza nzara mu paSiyalima pano Siyalima ikaguta inopa Guruve, Guruve ikaguta inopa Harare, Harare ikaguta inopa Africa. Saka chinangwa chekupfudza nzara muAfrica yese.
Women inclusion forms a pivotal part of the scheme.
Iko zvinoti kukwanisa kuendesa vana vedu kuzvikoro kumayunivhesiti, like inini nditori nemwana ari kuyunivhesiti ari kutodzidza kuburikidza neskimu iyoyi zvandiye ndichiwanawo mabenefits anenge achibvawo paskimu panapa. Ari kuendawo through kumwana wangu kuti adzidze. Vanhu vanenge vachishanda unokwanisa kutoti mune hako zvozvidi kushanda kupera kumwe tichitora kuchiona mari yako. Uye titorima pano kupera kwegore totopiwa mashares edu pay dzedu tichidziwana dzekunge tichiona skimu. Saka ndoti skimu ino yakanaka iri kutobatsira zvokuti.
Chief Director, Ministry of Lands, Agriculture, Water, Fisheries and Rural Development, Mr. Leonard Mnamati, urged the scheme to form strategic partnerships to drive business growth, as Zadzamatura sales manager Blessing Hatidane pledged to continue supporting the Siyalima farmers.
Chatiri kuvakurudzira mazuva ano ndechekuti mashandiro avo nemafamasi nehurumende ngaashanduke asi abve pamashandiro avaita kudhara aya ekungoti vanouya vachitipa mbeu isu tichitenga mbeu toti aiwa titori shamwari neshamwari kuti mbeu tinodziwana kutoperera ipapo toita shudzesa zvino tava kuvakurudzira kuti ngavatibatsirewo kusimuka isu semafama. Takashanda nevarimi vedu kuvabatsira kuti vagone kuwana mbeu nemutengo wakadzikira kana kuti nemutengo unogoneka, uyezve takavapa maconditions kana kuti materms ekubhadhara mbeu yavo zvinovarerukira kuti vagone kupinda mumunda nenguva.
Assessments indicate the country will attain a bumper harvest after most provinces met cereals production targets, coupled with good rains that were only interrupted by a short but intense dry spell. Tapiwa Machemedze, ZBC News, Guruve.
In a move aimed at reinforcing the country's monetary trajectory, the Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe has dismissed public speculation that the introduction of new ZiG notes signals a loss of value. In an exclusive interview with ZBC News on the sidelines of the IPEC Symposium in Victoria Falls, RBZ Deputy Governor Dr. Innocent Mache said the nation's transition to a monocurrency system is a deliberate strategy for economic growth and not a devaluation exercise.
Restore confidence into the market on the issue of the introduction of the new ZiG notes.
I want to be categorical that the idea of people losing the value of their balances in accounts when we move to monocurrency is an issue that should bother the public. Let me say that the only thing that is going to change is that the ZiG will be used locally. The local currency will be for local transactions. And so no balance, not even a penny, will be exchanged for any other currency without the owner's consent and without the owner's participation. The idea is that foreign currency denominated accounts will continue into monocurrency. And Zimbabweans can rest assured that the only time that those balances will be exchanged for local currency is when and if the holder of that account wants to do so. And when can that be? Let's say you go into a supermarket and you don't have enough local currency in your account. You can, at the point of sale, request that funds be moved from your FCA, your foreign currency account, into your local currency account, and you can use your card to pay.
So this is not a devaluation exercise?
It's not a devaluation exercise. It's not excessive money printing. The notes that are coming are going to replace old ZiG banknotes. The liquidity in our market is going to be watched on a minute-by-minute basis by the Reserve Bank. And there will not be any excess printing of money.
Does this mean that, the concern that is in the public of issues of inflation and price hikes, we won't see that?
Inflation has been in single digits since the month of January, and we We have just received the inflation numbers for March, and we are still in single digits. In fact, we are at 4.4% annual inflation this month, and at 0.5 month-on-month inflation this month. And we expect that we will end the year still in single digits.
Thank you so much, Siyabonga kakhulu. To our viewers at home, the message is clear here. The money that is coming, that is the new ZIG notes, are coming to restore confidence back into our bucket, and people have to embrace this so that as Zimbabwe, we grow our economy and get back to the old glory days.
The First Lady, Dr. Auxilia Mnangagwa, has launched the Youth Vanguard movement, a national initiative aimed at grooming future leaders through training, mentorship, and empowerment programs.
In a defining moment, First Lady Dr. Auxilia Mnangagwa launched the Youth Vanguard movement at the University of Zimbabwe this Saturday, a groundbreaking initiative poised to transform youth leadership development in Zimbabwe. It is a national program designed to prepare, inspire, and empower a new generation of leaders through training and empowerment programs. The initiative is a youth-focused program aimed at developing skills and fostering positive social values among young people. The movement, spearheaded by Dr. Auxilia Mnangagwa, reflects her active involvement in empowering youths and communities. The program, which was launched at the University of Zimbabwe in Harare, brought together youths from all the country's 10 provinces who are to be equipped with practical leadership skills. The Youth Vanguard movement blends mentorship, leadership simulations, community engagement, and project implementation, equipping participants with hands-on experience and practical skills to lead with purpose and integrity. It tackles head-on the challenges young people face, like limited access to opportunities and support, offering a clear route to empowerment and involvement in national development. Officially launching the program, the First Lady unpacked what the initiative entails.
Today marks the beginning of a deliberate national journey to prepare, inspire, and empower a new generation of future leaders of our country. Zimbabwe is a nation with a clear vision. Under the visionary leadership of His Excellency the President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, Comrade Mnangagwa, our nation is firmly focused on its vision to become a prosperous and empowered upper middle-income society by 2030. This national aspiration demands a sustained culture of capable leadership, good governance, committed citizenry, innovation, discipline, unquestionable patriotism, and a shared sense of purpose. Above all, it requires that our young people are knowledgeable and well-informed of the commitment and sacrifice already made by those who have come before them, and be prepared to take conscious responsibility, hold the torch, and carry forward the development aspirations and agenda for our nation.
Dr. Mnangagwa added that the Youth Vanguard movement is a call to action for youths to rise above limitation, rise above fear, rise above insecurity, and take action.
This Youth Vanguard movement seeks to develop a critical mass of future-ready, innovative young leaders drawn from all 10 provinces of the country and from diverse sectors of our society. The Zimbabwe we are building must be shaped by the collective energy, knowledge, and lived experiences of all our people. Our future must not exclude a gifted child from Binga, the determined young woman from Chipinge, the aspiring entrepreneur from Mbare, the committed teacher from Gokwe, or the emerging community organizer from Lupane. This program is a national platform that recognizes that leadership is not accidental. Leadership must be nurtured. It must be mentored. It must be tested. It must be guided by norms and values rooted in our culture and tradition. Ladies and gentlemen, mentorship is one of the strongest pillars of this program, and rightly so. No one succeeds alone. Every capable leader has been guided challenged and sharpened by others.
The University of Zimbabwe Vice-Chancellor Professor Paul Mapfumo indicated that the First Lady's program demonstrates the exceptional levels of innovation, pledging his institution's commitment to supporting the initiative.
The program you are launching today does not only demonstrate exceptional levels of innovation through your work, but also that you are a futuristic leader. You are seeing into our future. Your love and commitment for our culture and traditions and the empowerment of our people is not questionable. And we acknowledge your extraordinary level of selflessness underlain by your wisdom and visionary leadership.
The Minister of State for Provincial Affairs and Devolution, Harare Metropolitan Province, Senator Charles Tawengo, said the program, which is anchored on heritage-based education, is in line with the country's development agenda.
Today we gather to celebrate a vision that seeks to deliberately nurture and empower a new generation of leaders who will carry forward the torch of Zimbabwe's development.
Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Higher and Tertiary Education, Science and Technology Development, Professor Fanny Otagwira, talked about Dr. Mnangagwa's inclusive approach.
Her Excellency is a gift to the nation and a visionary leader who has championed many causes. Her work covers the length and breadth of this country, leaving no person and no place behind. She has touched the lives of almost every segment of our society, including the youth, the elderly, and those who live under the influence. Hers is a life that is being lived for the sake of others.
The Minister of Youth Empowerment Development and Vocational Training, Honorable Tinoma Chakaire, rallied the youths to take advantage of the movement and step forward with courage in order to make a difference in their communities and the nation at large.
To the young people gathered here, you are the heart of this initiative. The future is yours, and today you have been entrusted with the responsibility to help shape it. Step forward with courage, believe in your ability to make a difference. The work of building our nation now sits in your hands.
The youths are upbeat of a life-transforming movement.
This such initiative, it aligns with the national policies such as the National Development Strategy 2, which seeks to empower the youth and eradicate poverty within the community.
So radanga mutani auna zvine rakweita namusi rabudzwa uri vakoripa 3 months program ine rava richidogudhisiwa uva maleaders amachero ukwanisa uva nama innovative minds ukwanisa uva udisa development kama community avo rine ndizvone zvandapfesisa ngadhuva lanamusi.
The First Lady's Youth Vanguard movement includes mentorship, community engagement and project implementation over a period of 3 months. Dr. Mnangagwa has implemented various youth-centric programs which have transformed lives of thousands of youths from all the country's provinces. Colette Msanyera, ZBC News, Harare.
Traditional leaders in Matabeleland North Province have thrown their weight behind Constitutional Amendment Number 3 bill, expressing optimism that the proposed changes will strengthen governance frameworks and accelerate development as nationwide public hearings begin this Monday.
As the country gears up for the nationwide public hearings that are set to commence this Monday on the Constitutional Amendment Number 3 bill, stakeholders are intensifying engagement to ensure that communities fully understand the provisions and actively participate in the legislative process. At an engagement meeting held this Sunday in Lupane, aimed at conscientizing chiefs on the provisions and implications of the bill, traditional leaders underscored the importance of aligning the supreme law with evolving national priorities.
Because when we start in Europa, my elections are every 5 years. Yeah, 1 year, any preparations, the campaigns. So that means we're not 4 years. So it's over 7 years. We can complete my projects.
You're now president as Angena for 7 years. If 5 years, it be term and for when my projects kakhulu kwayishangane dem
lathi njengeziduna sesizwisisile sesizathi ke laba ababhodayo
abavela kwezinye indawo lathi sesikwazi ukuthi sikhulume ngebhili leyi.
Minister of State for Provincial Affairs and Devolution for Matabeleland North, Honorable Richard Moyo, says government is encouraged by the support from traditional leaders, noting that the amendment aligns with broader development goals and the decentralization agenda.
Singaqeda nalama awareness ayizwayo ama consultation ayenzwa eParliament sekubiselwe eParliament eHouse elokuze eParliament, then from Parliament Senate sesisiyavota khona lesingama MP. Angithi umthetho usupasi. So inkalakatha amaconcept esikuqanqosela kakhulu yikulicela ukuthi lesicelela abadlisa abasebhu bemobilize abantu behambe besupporta ibill.
Meanwhile, residents in Matabeleland North have expressed optimism ahead of the public hearings.
Isombori vanakazi vachikura vanini vari kukomena tiri kuenda empowerment.
Ndomukumbira nyika yeZimbabwe kuti atiringisiseni nezvisho rirochenjera.
Bill amendment number 3 izatitandiza tifake maramulo ambiri akuti mainvestor vinango vabweranso.
Broader consultative processes have been unfolding across the country, culminating in the public hearing set to commence this Monday as authorities move to ensure that the constitutional amendment process is inclusive, participatory and reflective of the aspirations of Zimbabweans. Yolande Moyo, ZBC News, Lupane.
Opposition political parties have expressed full support for the Constitutional Amendment number 3 bill, describing it as a game changer in the political landscape and providing smaller parties with a platform to be seen and heard.
With just a few hours to go before nationwide public hearings on the Constitutional Amendment number 3 bill begin, opposition political parties, churches and human rights activists convened a meeting in Bulawayo this Sunday where they unanimously agreed to support the proposed bill. At the meeting, opposition political parties spoke with one voice, describing the proposed constitutional changes as a key step in creating transitional generational opportunities and ensuring smaller political parties are represented.
Manje, we are talking real issues that the bill to us as the region and as the nation is a very good document that we should ride on, especially when we compared to 2010 or 2012, the final draft. Our political parties are opportunity to take advantage of Ingwebaleni Esilikagele.
Church leaders and human rights activists also highlighted the opportunities the bill offers, particularly for the Matabeleland region.
What we're advocating for is that people just don't look at one thing and run with it. We're trying to see ways of dealing with the large crowd effect, where people just take one thing and they influence everybody to reject a potentially good thing.
As supported in Vuni Matabeleland Wuti, your constitution day. This conditioning Katesi Isibuyagiti Ulagala.
The proposed amendment does not take away the universal suffrage. In fact, what it does is it takes us back to 1980, where the universal suffrage was exercised within the context or the administrative setup of a proportional representation.
Meanwhile, the Bulawayo Zanu PF Youth League held an inter-district meeting and expressed enthusiasm over how the bill provides a platform for the Second Republic to further advance the nation's economic transformation.
Bill number 3 uchone esekethe ukukhuluma wathasisa walethulela ukuthi libe kwazi ukuthi bill number 3 uchone ukwenzela ukuthi nxa lisukuma ngomvulo lisiya esidolo liyabe liyinformed likwazi into ekuyakhuluma ngayo.
The Constitutional Amendment number 3 bill is widely regarded as a progressive step towards strengthening governance and advancing national development. Lisa Korira, ZBC News, Bulawayo.
Growing calls for backing Constitutional Amendment Number 3 bill are spreading nationwide as the country prepares to begin public consultations on the proposed changes tomorrow.
An awareness campaign on the Constitutional Amendment Number 3 bill has been taken to Mhondoro in Mashonaland West Province, where hundreds of people gathered at Neuso Business Center in support of the legislative amendment.
Tine zvakawanda zvataona zvaitwa naPresident anatira Bablas vakavakwa, nzira dzedu dziri kugadzirwa, madhemu ari kuvakwa, kurimwa kwavandudzwa, nyika yakudzokera pakare payainzi ndiyo bread basket of Africa. Saka tiri kuti aiwa President ndavapfuurire mberi neurongwa hwavo hwedevelopment.
Tinenge tichipedzisa maprojects edu akarongwa naPresident wedu nema-MPs vedu nemakanzilasi vedu zvavari kutiitira munzvimbo.
Mutungamiri wedu wenyika nevavanotonga navo kubvira kumamember of parliament, makanzilasi avo pakushanda kwavanga vachiita basa nyika yanga yatinhira zvakanaka. Saka ndinoona sekuti mukana iwoyo ukawedzerwa nemakore maviri kuti asvike pamakore 7 nyika yedu inotinhira.
The awareness program in Mhondoro is part of a broader effort to ensure the public is informed about the legislative amendment ahead of public hearings are set to commence on Monday.
As a party, we have gone hard on a mobilization drive to mobilize our supporters, to mobilize our general populace, us as members of parliament, the people that we lead. This is a non-partisan bill, Amendment Bill Number 3. It is just preaching unity, love and development and continuity. That we want our President, His Excellency Dr. Edion Mnangagwa, to get to 2030 so that he gets enough time, at least, to accomplish and finish the projects that he has started. Mhondoro Mbaera has given its vote and its thumbs up to Bill Number 3.
Addressing the gathering, Presidential Investment and Empowerment Advisor Dr. Paul Tungwarara said, the proposed extension of the presidential term is aimed at ensuring stability and continuity of government programs.
Your presence here proves that you are not mere passive spectators when it comes to national political matters. You are active participants in shaping the destiny of our beloved country. The bill concerns our lives, stability, jobs, our children's education, and the peace of mind we all deserve. This bill is about all of us, our collective stability, prosperity, and the future of our children. This bill is a vision. It reflects deep thought aimed at modernizing and governance and aligning our country with the most successful and progress practice across Africa and the world.
Parliament has already released dates and venues for Constitutional Amendment Number 3 bill public hearings set to commence on Monday, providing a constitutional platform for citizens to submit oral and written input before the bill is formally tabled for debate in the National Assembly. John Nandara, ZBC News, Mhondoro.
The ZANU-PF inter-district meeting on the Constitutional Amendment Number 3 bill held at Mutawatawa Business Center in Uzumba Maramba Fungwe has seen residents pledging overwhelming support for the proposed constitutional reforms.
The ZANU-PF inter-district meeting held at Mutawatawa Growth Point in Uzumba Maramba Fungwe reaffirmed the district's support for the ruling party and the Constitutional Amendment Number 3 bill. Residents and local leadership expressed determination to deliver overwhelming backing for the proposed reforms, citing accelerated development under President Emmerson Mnangagwa's administration.
Kuno ku UMP kune construction ye Mother Church road project yacho ichiri kuenderera. Saka kana president wakawedzerwa mazuva ekuti warambe wachitonga tinoramba tichingoitirwa zvakanaka kusvika road yasvika kunyatana.
Mabasa awaita kubva kumarodzi, kumadhamu, development yese pane zvese uye peace iri munyika zvese zvauya navaMnangagwa, vanhu vese vafocused padevelopment.
Tine mabhoro, makiriniki, zvikoro zvokuvakwa,
vana vedu vakaenda padhuze kuchikoro.
Mhuri yeUMP iri kufarira zvikuru amendment bill number 3. Chikonzero chikuita kuti wafarira chinhu ichi wanga wasati wamboona development makore ese, asi pari zvino wana development yavari kuona kugadzirwa kwerodhi mureva madicheche road inobva vanhakiwa ichienda kunyadhire kwamutoko, mabhoho mvura wainetseka mvura kuno, so hausuda kuti paite madisturbance, wada kuti maprojects aya afambirire mberi.
The provincial leadership has expressed confidence that the amendment bill will pass, citing the strong support it continues to receive.
Semhuri yeUMP zvakaoma kukapisa ukachanzara tinenge tiinemi.
Bill number 3 tauya kuzozadzisa asi kuno vakatosunga. Vanhu vokuno vanonzwa nekuita.
Nyika yadaira sematauriro maita maoveterezi ese UMP ari kuteedzera ari kumashure kwenyu.
ZANU-PF Mashonaland East Provincial Chairperson Honorable Daniel Garwe outlined the significance of the proposed amendment, highlighting its role in sustaining development.
Tese taona mabasa aitwa na Mnangagwa kubva mugore ra 2017 tichipinda mu-election ya 2018 tichipinda mu-National Development Strategy 1 tichivaka mabridge, tichivaka dzimba, tichivaka nyangwe maflats kuno, tikatarisa zvemadhamu, tikatarisa zvemadiridziro, tikatarisa migwagwa, tikatarisa zvezvicherwa zviri kuitika munyika ino navaMnangagwa. Bill number 3 tinoritsigira nemwoyo yedu yese.
The meeting also encouraged the residents to embrace the new ZIG currency notes, which will come into circulation on the 7th of next month. Kenya's Chivuje, ZBC News, Uzumba Maramba Pfungwe.
Members of the ZANU-PF affiliate organization Young Women for Economic Development have voiced strong support for Constitutional Amendment number 3 bill, saying it reflects the national aspirations of their constituency. The details.
A gathering of Young Women for ED members from Bulawayo Metropolitan, Matabeleland North and Matabeleland South provinces spoke with one voice in backing the Constitutional Amendment Bill number 3 to its finality.
So we are in full support as young women. Chitaura isusu kuti we are supporting my clauses aripa Constitutional Amendment number 3. And after all, President Mnangagwa vashanda. He has worked so much for us as a country. One thing you should understand about our president, he has sacrificed a lot for this country. And isusu says Zimbabwe, we have realized the work that he has done or the work that is under his leadership. That is why we are fully in support of Constitutional Amendment number 3. Kuno kuchaiko kubulawayo, mune nguruve dzenyu dzachitaurwa na chairman, dzamakapuwa na president. Because he knows that he's supposed to empower women.
Njengobulawayo siyathaba siyaziqhenya, and we are the beneficiaries of Second Republic. So thina sithi phambili ngo bill number 3, let's go all the way so that we continue doing imisebenzi yethu akade sesiqalisile. We've got our projects ophigari, inkukhu, ama rapids. So we are in full support of the amendment bill number 3.
And we went for the armed struggle to fight that we cannot continue being in our own natural habitat, colonized by people from another habitat. We cannot be governed by laws that we don't participate in the making. And that constitution is a product of our strategy when we're fighting against a colonial racist regime.
As public consultations get underway this week, the Revolutionary Party, through its various organs and structures, has been mobilizing its membership and educating the public on the benefits of the proposed amendments. Mhlomuli Ncube, ZBC News, Bulawayo.
ZANU-PF Mashonaland West Province has concluded its week-long grassroots sensitization program on the Constitutional Amendment number 3 bill, with communities pledging full support.
ZANU-PF's inter-district grassroots engagement on the Constitutional Amendment number 3 bill have concluded on a high note in Mashonaland West Province, with communities expressing overwhelming support. Among those backing the proposed legislation is Ward 6 Councillor for Mhondoro Ngezi, Mr. O'Brien Wafa, who has since defected from the opposition to the ruling party, citing confidence in the bill and national leadership.
Mashure kwesoko opposition has been crying kuti tinobirwa pa elections.
particularly pana president. But bill riri kuti takubvisa kuvhocherwa kwapresident kuvanhu vakawanda who are millions muZimbabwe. Toisa kuvhocherwa kwapresident muparliament mune vanhu vanoverengeka.
Saka pari zvino kuungana kwataita kureva kuti munhu wese abata panyaya dzebhiro anga asati anzwisisa.
Isu semastudents tiri kufambawo nevakuru vedu vepati tichitsigira nekusimbisa constitutional amendment bill number 3.
Zvabatsira kuti vanhu vedu vave nemuono wakanaka vatezinda musemani kusa 30 vanenge vapindura zvinhu zvakanaka zvavakuziva zvakanaka nebhiri.
Provincial leadership led by ZANU-PF Mashonaland West chairperson Comrade Mary Mliswa Chikoka urged communities to actively participate in the upcoming parliamentary consultations.
Kurudzira vanhu kuti vange varipo pachaitwa ma-parliamentary hearings, public hearings, vange varipo vachinzwawo vachipindirawo munhaurwa nehurukuro dze-amendment bill number 3.
I will sleep very well tonight knowing that the grassroots have accepted what we had said and also pushed us to do more.
Meanwhile, members of the public have been reminded not to wear party regalia, display party affiliation, or wear security uniforms during the parliamentary consultations. Tamuka Charakupa, ZBC News, Mamina.
The Zimbabwe National Liberation War Veterans Association National Executive has endorsed the Constitutional Amendment number 3 bill, saying it reflects the ethos of the liberation struggle.
War veterans executives from all the country's 10 provinces convened in Gweru to deliberate on the gazetted Constitutional Amendment number 3 bill. The gathering culminated in a firm endorsement of the proposed legislation, which the veterans say is critical in laying a strong foundation for national development.
Tikudzokera kuma provinces titinobata basa pane ma-outreach programs achaitwa kuma provinces kurudzirai vanhu vaende neuwandu wavo. Let's go there in big numbers. We support the bill, then after that we make sure my programs ana ekusimudzira nyika yedu anoendera mberi anditi.
Midlands Minister of State for Provincial Affairs and Devolution Honorable Owenwe says the endorsement by war veterans underscores the importance of the bill in advancing the country's long-term aspirations.
We have been invited by the War Veterans League from all the 10 provinces who have come to gather here at the conference center in Midlands Province to endorse bill number 3. However, the war veterans have said we listen to the party, ZANU-PF, which sent us to war, and we abide by its rules and resolutions, which were made in Matabeleland, Bulawayo, and Manicaland Province.
Public consultations on the Constitutional Amendment number 3 bill starts this Monday. Tafaraj Kumira, ZBC News, Gweru.
A Sunday edition takes a break. We'll be back shortly with more news. Stay with us.
Every day, millions of moments travel through the air. A call home, a payment made, a lesson learned, a life saved. But behind each moment is something steady, something quiet, unseen, unshaken, powering connection, supporting lives. This is Econet Infraco, Zimbabwe's largest private infrastructure group, comprising towers, power, and real estate. We build and operate the essential systems that hold the country together with scale, certainty, and purpose. We bring together 3 powerful engines of progress under one roof. Towers that carry the signal, clean energy that keeps it alive, and foundations that hold it all in one place. Because behind every connection, every transaction, every step forward, there's a quiet force. Econet Infraco, built for resilience, designed for growth.
Every day, Africa's financial institutions protect something priceless: trust. Trust to move money safely, keep economies running, and support customers whenever they need it. But the landscape is shifting. Security threats are rising, regulations are tougher, and customers' expectations are higher. Downtime is simply not an option. That's why financial institutions need infrastructure that is secure, resilient, and built to scale. Liquid Intelligent Technologies powers Africa's financial sector to operate safely, efficiently, and without interruption. From branches to data centers and the cloud, we deliver mission-critical connectivity with 24/7 operations that detect threats early. With world-class data centers and continent-wide disaster recovery, Liquid keeps services online at all times. Our network drives fast, secure transactions so banks and fintechs can serve customers instantly. We build the digital foundation for Africa's financial future.
The Zimbabwe International Trade Fair 2026 is here. It's Zimbabwe's premium platform for trade, innovation, and building global connections. For more than half a century, the ZITF show has been at the heart of innovation and integration of ideas behind Zimbabwe's industrialization and economic growth. At ZITF 2026, we take this a step further, positioning local, regional, and international businesses for global integration, driving Zimbabwe and Africa's transformation. Be a part of the journey to unlocking local, continental, and global opportunities at ZITF 2026 from the 20th to the 25th of April 2026 in Bulawayo. Register today and unleash your business growth. ZITF 2026, Connected Economies, Competitive Industries.
Thank you for staying with us. Zimbabweans have joined the global community, a Christian community, in celebrating Palm Sunday, which marks Jesus' triumphal entry into Jerusalem.
It is Palm Sunday, a day that commemorates Christ's entry into Jerusalem, marking the first day of Holy Week. Observed on the last Sunday before Easter, the day begins with processions of congregants waving palm branches and singing hymns before holding special church services.
Izuva rinokosha nokuti kuroverwa kwake, kufa kwake nekumuka kwake kuri so important. Saka tiri panapa, tiri pano nokuda kwokumuka kwake.
Kutodzana kwedu naKristu kunoita kuti tive nenguva dzatinenge tiri mukati merufaro tichipembera all the graces dzatinopiwa nani naivo Mwari pachezo avo, asiwo zvekare tine that kudzika kana kuti nguva inenge yakaoma yekutakura chipiyaniso.
Pampaonayo njira muJerusarema uyosarudza kuti akagade donki kuinda kuti akagade mahachi kambwa rutondezya ikuli choveka kwake ansi. Jesu wakatondezya kuti woyanda kuti iwevo ulongezekwe litoveke ansi.
For Christians around the world, Palm Sunday is a day of joy, celebration, and reflection of Jesus' sacrifice and love. Festus Mkunguru says ABC News, Harare.
The church has been urged to safeguard the integrity of marriage and family, as these are the cornerstones of a stable and thriving society.
Women from all walks of life converged in Harare for the Gracious Women's Fellowship International Conference, which unites women from various congregations to uplift families and protect marriages in the wake of high divorce cases and other challenges bedeviling the marriage institution.
When the legendary our father Ezekiel brought this vision, it was because people were coming to him for counseling, and it was too late. When things were too us start this organization so we can begin to teach them so they know how to walk without having to get into this mess that they are in now.
The women shared insights to better divorce trends and nurture thriving partnerships.
Study about marriage before you enter into marriage. Marriage teaching is a big school, it's a degree on its own. It's huge with many topics. So make an effort.
Without imuli akula church. We cannot go and stand outside there and preach God. Imulini izinto zingahambi kuhle.
The enemy wants to destroy a nation. He will start destroying families. When we have rampant crime, look at the backgrounds of the people that are committing those crimes. There is something wrong with the families.
This younger generation ndiyandikuda kutarisana nayo vari kurasika panyaya dzekuda kuita zvinhu vega vasina Mwari.
Laughter, tears and collective prayers was the order of the day as the women were united in faith and community. Festus Mhondoro, SABC News, Harare.
A government says it will partner local authorities in upskilling council workers in a bid to improve service delivery.
According to council spokesperson Stanley Gama, the Harare City Council employs approximately 10,000 people. But despite the relatively large workforce, the local authority has in most instances failed to provide adequate and proper service delivery, prompting residents to question what is the problem. Residents' associations have often attributed the poor service delivery to a lack of leadership at the Mafume-led townhouse and to an archaic form of urban planning. On his part, Harare Mayor Councillor Jacob Mafume says a lack of skill within the workforce is the reason behind the poor service delivery.
We believe that part of our challenges in terms of service delivery are the skills that are at our disposal. We're in an information age where the demands and the needs of the citizenry have developed. They want clean water as and when they open the tap. They want good roads. They want the rubbish collected. They need an interactive city council. They need a responsive bureaucracy that is proactive and that is not fossilized like the ones that we currently have.
Public governance analysts weighed into the matter, arguing that local authorities should not use this as an excuse, but rather invest in a skilled workforce.
The blame to say that we don't have the skills, it's not that Zimbabwe does not have adequate skills, human skill or human labor to carry out the functions for the specific or for specialization of the service delivery. But the issue emanates from the failure by the local authorities to invest in human capital.
Speaking in response to the issue, Skills Audit and Development Minister Dr. Jennifer Muswere said government will work hand in glove with local authorities nationally to upskill their workforces.
We're working together in order for us to be able to identify the skills deficits and how best we can redo human resources planning, organizational development, and change management strategies in order to propel organizational efficiency.
In July last year, the government raised an alarm over the disconnect between academic qualifications and the practical skills required by Zimbabwean industries, making the skills collaboration between central government and local authorities pivotal. Panashe Nagwali, ZBC News, Harare.
That report from Panashe takes Sunday edition to a break. We will be back with more. Don't go away.
No one bore a greater burden. No one rose in greater glory. No one showed us greater love. Celebrate his resurrection by experiencing his greater love.
Welcome back. A Mhondoro-based small-scale farmer has turned his dream into reality after designing and assembling a homemade tractor to support his agricultural activities. In this week's This and That feature, we speak to Hubert Rusinga, whose journey is anchored on determination, innovation, and imagination.
What once seemed like an impossible dream has become a reality for a Mhondoro-based small-scale farmer, Hubert Rusinga, who spent a year assembling a homemade tractor using scrap materials, old vehicle parts, and an engine typically used for grinding mills or water pumps. The 30-year-old says his innovation is aimed at improving farming efficiency, recognizing agriculture as the backbone of the local economy.
Project yangu ndakaitanga 2024 kutanga ka 2024 then chikazotanga kufamba muna February 2025 kuti ndakaita gore ndichigadzira this tractor yamuri kuona. Saka tractor iyi inobatsira kumunda kurima kutakura zvinhu tichishandisa ngoro tichidhonza tichidi seipapa muchiona tractor iyoyi gore rine season yadarika ndo yandashandisa kurima.
Despite holding only a national certificate, Rusinga's journey reflects resilience and creativity as he combined the various mechanical components to bring his vision to life.
Kuti bude tractor ndakashandisa macomponents ari pane Peugeot, then pozoti mamwe maparts eHonda Fit aripo zvakare, then ine chamfer engine iri panapa, then idzi simbi dzamunoona idzi ndakanotenga kunotengeswa simbi kuMhondoro Steel ndokwandakatenga this simbi yandakakwanisa kugadzira chasi ndomutsa. Saka ndinongokrenga chomuka, then magiya chitori neclutch system yangufanana nemota dzatoziva dzesezi chine clutch system ndochinja magiya 1 up to 4 ndobva ndaita reverse.
Rusinga says the journey was not without challenges, including skepticism from members of his community.
Chinhu chamuri kuona ichi ndakatanga kunonga simbi dzimwe dzandainonga dzekuti vanhu vaiti urikuda kunyatsogadzira chii, ndichitoti kuvanhu muchazoona kana chofamba.
He is now calling for support to help scale up local innovation and contribute to national development.
Nekushandisa kwatakaita maparts emota dzakasiyana-siyana panapa, zvandingangokumbira kurubatsiro rwandingadai ndezvokuti tikwanise kuregister this tichitaurirana nevaridzi vemamwe mapazi andakashandisa panapa, nekuti ndokuti zvinhu zvacho zviite, nekuti kungotanga kuzochigadzira chotanga kufamba sometimes ungosangana nenyaya yepatent. SemaZimbabwe tofanira kusapotana, nekuti kasasapotana isusu pachedu hapana umwe achazotisapota, nekuti hatingatasire kuti dzimwe nyika dzinga dzichitisapota isu semaZimbabwe. Saka sekutaura kuri kuita president wedu kuti nyika inovakwa nevene vayo inovakwa kana tichisapotana semaZimbabweans.
From being the joke of his community to driving his dream forward, Hubert Rusinga's story is a powerful reminder that impactful innovations are not only made by academically gifted individuals, but from vision, resilience, and belief. Kenya's Chivuje, ZBC News, Mhondoro.
The Mechanical Engineering Department at Mutare Polytechnic College has come up with a locally manufactured hoist designed to assist persons with disabilities at the institution. In our Science and Technology feature tonight, we cast the spotlight on how this works.
The hoist was designed to lift individuals with limited mobility from ground level to rooms and offices on higher level floors of the institution. The science behind the machine is simple yet effective, as the students used the manual hydraulic jack system to make the hoist multiply a small amount of physical force to lift up to 150 kilograms.
We have these channels, so we fabricated these channels, and then these are the cylinders. They work with the hydraulic. At the back we have the motor and the cylinder there with the oil inside. So we have some chains and some ropes. So in case the chains did the malfunctioning, we have the rope which acts as an emergency. Like it will compensate the malfunction of the chains. Also, we have that extension there that will be able to reach to the high heights. So the person who is disabled will just get inside the elevator using either a wheelchair or just step in. And then we are going to put a switch, an automatic switch, so they're just able to click that switch and then the elevator will start going up and going down.
The department now aims to refine the design for mass production, potentially lowering costs for the institution and other government institutions.
Everything that you are seeing here has been machined and fabricated inside the polytechnic. As a polytechnical college, we are saying it's not ideal for us to go out there and buy these things. We are supposed to make these things as a college, and then that will make life easy for us Zimbabweans.
By leveraging local engineering talent to manufacture this service-oriented product, the institution has moved beyond traditional research into service delivery, proving that higher education can act as a direct engine for social inclusivity and economic utility. Gay Matambo, ZBC News, Mutare.
That's our science and technology feature. Let's now shift our attention to business news. The government continues to create an enabling environment to promote the adoption of hybrid and electric vehicles, a move that has contributed to the growth of the sector and aligns with the transition to smart mobility solutions.
Dealerships for electric vehicles are on the rise in Zimbabwe as the country transitions towards smart transport solutions. Rising global fuel prices have further increased the interest in electric vehicles, while government incentives such as reducing customs duty to 25% on EVs have boosted sector growth.
I'd love to commend the government for what they've done in trying to have our people to adopt to EVs by actually reducing the duties from 60% to 25%. It's something that's very important, but at the same time, we actually feel there's an importance of those prices to go even lower. If the government could just chip in, probably we have our EVs around probably 10%.
A new dealership has also opened at Harare's fast-developing Pomona Industrial Park, reflecting growing demand for hybrid and electric vehicles.
Contributing factor has also been the rise in fuel prices at the moment, which has led people to now wanting to understand and adopt EVs like plug-in hybrids and electric vehicles. So I think what we're looking at now in the supply chain is to increase more charging stations as the cars are now coming in. Every ship now is coming in with 10 or 20 electric vehicles heading to Zimbabwe.
In response to sector growth, Cabinet this month adopted measures to regulate the installation of electric vehicle charging infrastructure, enhancing quality assurance and safety. This policy intervention aligns with global standards and dovetails with the National Development Strategy 2's objectives of creating a smart economy. Owen Mhondoro, ZBC News, Harare.
That's it for Sunbiz. And now in Sports Buzz, Zimbabwe's men's cricket team, the Chevrons, are gaining renewed attention with their upcoming tour to India, marking a major milestone in their resurgence.
The Chevrons are making a strong comeback with their upcoming tour to India early next year, marking a significant milestone. This will be the first visit to the Asian nation in 25 years, where they are set to face India in a 3-match one-day international series. The India tour, scheduled from 3rd to 9th January, will see the Chevrons play in Kolkata, Hyderabad and Mumbai. This series presents a huge opportunity for Zimbabwe to test their mettle against one of cricket's global giants. The Chevrons' recent performances have been impressive, putting them firmly back in the international spotlight. At the ICC T20 World Cup, they reached the Super 8 stage, recording wins over cricket heavyweights Australia and Sri Lanka. The strong showing has secured them a spot in India's 2026-2027 international home season alongside top teams like West Indies, Sri Lanka and Australia. Last year, Zimbabwe also ended a nearly two-decade drought by playing a series against England, signaling a turning point for the team. Adding to the momentum, Zimbabwe is set to co-host the 2027 ICC World Cup with South Africa and Namibia, marking another major return of elite cricket to the country. The Chevrons are also preparing for a busy calendar this year, with the tours to Pakistan next month, followed by Bangladesh, as well as hosting Afghanistan. Anna Shemrombedzi, ZBC News, Harare.
The Warriors produced a dominant display to beat Botswana 3-0 in the Four Nations tournament, with coach Mario Marinica praising his young players for stepping up in the absence of several senior stars.
Zimbabwe turned on the star with a convincing victory over the hosts, despite missing 6 players due to injuries and other commitments. The youthful Warriors side showed energy and cohesion, with several emerging players taking full advantage of the opportunity. Debutant among Ameli Chuma has stole the spotlight with a goal and an outstanding all-round performance, announcing his arrival on the international stage in emphatic fashion. Bio Antonio was equally impressive, contributing a goal and 2 assists in a lively display as he continues to establish himself in the senior team. Second half substitute Panache Makuramiti also made an impact with a composed cameo, maintaining possession and adding stability in the midfield as Zimbabwe controlled the later stages of the game. Coach Mario Marinica expressed satisfaction with the performance, particularly the hunger and confidence shown by the younger players.
We give chance to players and they took it fantastically well. So from that point of view, I'm extremely pleased. More or less every player that, even Billy played in different position today and he done fantastically well. Same thing like other players, we tried to give them a chance and they took it with both hands.
The result gives the Warriors a strong start to the tournament and underlines the growing depth within the squad. Zimbabwe is now looking forward to carrying the momentum in the final against Zambia on Tuesday. Lawrence Trusida, ZBC News, Francistown.
Caps United legend Lloyd Chitembwe has been appointed Triangle United coach after the Lawfeld side parted ways with Thomas Ruzive.
After 4 consecutive losses in the 2026 Kasolaga Premier Soccer League season, Triangle United have made changes in the technical department, firing Ruzive and dropping in Chitembwe, who will be assisted by Alexio Sigio. Triangle United chairperson Weston Jemwa confirmed the developments, saying the club cannot afford to fight relegation again this season, hence the decision for changes.
We have had a slow start, and as you are aware, last season, Takazo fight a relegation the entire season. So this time around, taona sokuti zvirinani kuti tikasire kuita changes. Nekuti ma results after 4 matches, losing 12 points, is a lot.
Chitembwe said he is looking forward to changing the fortunes of the team.
Naturally, the expectation is to do well, and I think it's doable. It's very possible, and I've had 2 days working with the group. And I'm impressed with what I saw, and I think the starting point is what really impressed me.
Triangle United fans are optimistic that having a new technical team will help the team win.
We believe in the experience of Coach Chitembwe and the experience in football, and it knows that my results are chauya.
Anmona master kupinda master makuru. Kuchisiri vana Chitembwe vana kutanga bhora vanhu vakuru saka takutarisira kuti tavandudzika tiri kutarisira kuti pasina nguva maresults anogona kuchinja.
Izvezvi tiri kuona kuti vaChitembwe vari kuita basa guru. Fitness ndio yavari kutonyanya kutotsvaka uye nekudzidzisa maplayers edu kuti anofanirwa kushuta bhora.
Triangle United are second from bottom on the log after losing all 4 matches they have played and failing to find the back of the net so far this season. Fungai Jachi, ZBC News, Triangle.
The Premier Netball League got on to a firing start this Saturday with thrilling and highly competitive matches played across the country as the new season got underway.
The Harare Bubble saw Black Rhinos begin their campaign on a strong footing, winning all their opening matches. They secured a 57-47 victory over Montare City before dispatching newcomers Imbizo 52-34. Tongogara also delivered a dominant performance, thrashing debutants the League Dolphins 18-19. In Mlayo, defending champions at DF Queens sent a strong warning to rivals with a commanding 91-18 victory over Harare district. At the Mutare Bubble, newcomers Correctional Stars made an impressive start with a narrow 41-38 win, but later suffered a heavy defeat 76-8 defeat to Makate High Flyers. Bedbridge also registered a convincing 69-26 win over Buffaloes. The opening round has seen all teams fulfilling their fixtures, signaling a promising and competitive season ahead.
I'm happy with the turnout of the teams. We have seen that all teams have managed to fulfill their fixtures. We are happy that we have teams coming all the way from Shombe. We have a team coming from Nyanga. We also have a team on the correctional side coming all the way from Rewa. We have a new team in Blawayo. So we are very happy with how they've started. Their level of competition is high.
Meanwhile, newly promoted sides includes Correctional Stars, Blawayo Business School College, Zim Smart Nyanga Stars, Chiefs and Ligi Dolphins have injected fresh energy into the competition. Anna Shembrambedzi, ZBC News, Harare.
And now in the world of the arts in showbiz, music lovers were spoiled this weekend as some of the country's top artists lit up stages across Harare and beyond, delivering unforgettable performances at popular leisure sports.
Afro-jazz sensation Bell and his band, the Mozi Tribe, set Mbare Grills ablaze with their electrifying rhythm and tight soulful grooves that had fans dancing all night. Alan Chimbetu wowed the Nera fans at Club Joy in Machipisa. In Chishawasha, a star-studded lineup had fans sharing as Tsungai Tsikirai, Iasa, Selma Mchukuzi, Nisha Tees, Enzo Aishao, and Saint Flo shared the stage, each delivering high-energy performances that kept the audience on their feet. This year's Unplugged edition proved why it's a fan favorite, featuring top-tier performances that showcased both talent and creativity.
Well, it was an eventful weekend. It's now time for the weather report and Focused.
Good evening, Zimbabwe, and welcome to tonight's weather report and forecast. Well, looking at some of the conditions that we had, we had mostly sunny skies at the beginning of the day, but however, cooling southeasterlies rising from the southeastern parts of the subcontinent, driving in a bit of moisture over the south, where we expect a bit of cloudiness as we get into tomorrow. But for tonight, we're still expecting a bit of showery weather over those southern parts, with this moisture leading to a bit of those showers that you see as the green color here. And by morning, we're expecting more of the rain and drizzle over the southern parts, leading to cloudy conditions into Tuesday. But on Wednesday, these clouds should clear off, giving us more warmer conditions over the southern parts as we get into Thursday and Friday. But still a bit of cloudiness cannot be ruled out over the north. We're expecting a few showers into Wednesday and Thursday. But for tonight, we're expecting generally mild conditions across board, with more of those cloudy conditions drifting into the southern parts, making it cooler as we get into tomorrow, with most of them below 30. But over the northern parts, we're expecting a few areas to be above 30, where the southern parts should be still a bit cooler than of late, where we're expecting cloudy conditions across most areas. For Blawayo, we're expecting a maximum of 29 tomorrow, falling to about 25, 24, and 23 respectively. As we get into Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, it only warms up into the weekend. Same for Matopo, we're expecting it to fall to about 24 around Wednesday into Thursday, and then warms up into the weekend with mostly sunny skies projected there. For Gwanda, we're expecting a maximum of 29 tomorrow, falling to about 25 as we get into Tuesday, as those cloudy conditions drift into Gwanda area, but it also warms up into the weekend. Same for Gweru with more sunny skies as we get into Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We're expecting the Easter weekend to be generally warmer than of late. For Masvingo, expecting cloudy conditions for much of this week, but it also warms up into the weekend. For those who want to be out in the weekend, it's a beautiful weekend out there, but for much of this week, we're expecting cloudy conditions across much of the southern parts, including areas such as Nyanga, where brief cloudy periods cannot be ruled out. Maximums also falling to about 22 as we get into Wednesday. Marondera falling to about 22 as well on Wednesday, but for tomorrow, we're expecting a maximum of 27 as those cloudy conditions are starting to drift into those southern parts of the country. For Harare, we're expecting a maximum of 28 tomorrow, falls to about 23 on Wednesday, with more of those rain showers projected there, and we're expecting it to be warmer into the weekend. Same for Kadoma, with more sunny skies as we get into Saturday and Sunday, but for much of this week, more of the cloudiness cannot be ruled out. For Chinoy, we're expecting a few rain showers here and there, especially on Wednesday. We're expecting a maximum of 24 under cloudy conditions. 27 is our maximum on Wednesday for Victoria Falls, but for tomorrow, it's maximum of 31. 31 also for Lupane for Monday, but it falls to 27 on Wednesday with sunnier skies as we get into the weekend. For Bindura, we're expecting a bit of cloudiness here and there, but it only falls in terms of temperatures around Friday. Whereas for Caribou, we're expecting maximums to slowly slide into the 20s as we get towards the weekend. That's it from the weather desk. It's back to the news desk.
Many thanks to the Met Services Department for giving us the way of the weather, bringing us to the end of the bulletin. Thank you for giving us your time. Good night.
Good night.